So the new Taylor Swift album is upsetting, and it's mostly upsetting to Black people. What does that mean? Okay, so I have been on an deliberate anti-racist journey for about 5 years now. I have been for the last year very actively engaged in trying to undo all of my negative perceptions, right? Deconstruct the delusion of white supremacy. I have a podcast with White Woman Whisperer, and we talk about all of this stuff. And one of the things we talk about, and this I read in Ijoma Oluo's book, So You Want to Talk About Race, and it's a wonderful rule for white people on an anti-racism journey. And it just says, when Black people tell you something is about race, believe them. So Black people have been saying that this was about race, that she had lyrics that were white supremacist and racist and dog whistle. And I listened. And I have to come to terms with that, right? And I think what happened is that, I mean, first of all, she's never really investigated her own internalized racism, which we all have as white people. Even if we were not cultured in white countries, like me, we still pick it up because it's affected the whole world. And she's also just spent the last 2 years comparing herself to a Black woman, right? Because we all compare ourselves to our significant other's ex. And she chose to reference it, and that was a really bad choice. Because she hasn't done the work, a lot of racism came out. And she just should have known better, right? You're Taylor Swift. You're the most famous person in the world, and you're a skinny blonde white woman. You cannot publicly pick on a Black woman. You know what your fans are going to do with that, right? Even if she didn't mean to be racist, she knows, right, that it's going to turn into racism, right? If I had a personal problem with Rebecca, I would never, this White Woman Whisperer who I have my podcast with, I would never come here and talk to you all about it. Why? Because I know that people will take that and turn it into a racist response, right? Even if I didn't intend it, and I'm not saying that she didn't intend it. I think she has a lot to answer for. But even if everything she said had nothing to do with race, people are going to turn it into that because she's publicly talking about a Black woman. And she should have known better. And it really tells me a lot that even though these days she surrounds herself with all these different people of color and Black people and Cam Saunders, right, and her backup singers, but none of them clearly felt comfortable to tell her, to advise her on these lyrics. And so that tells me a lot about how performative it is. Now, I would say some of us are going to take some time to say goodbye to 20 years of our lives of music. And that's probably part of the anti-racism journey as well.